88 Films continues to fill me with glee as a fan of classic Hong Kong action cinema. Classic to me is like the midish to late 80s to the mid 90s. And they keep releasing these films that I love in these unbelievable editions that are better than anything I've ever seen, or films that I always wanted to see but never got around to. That is the case with what we're talking about today, which is from 1988, The Inspector Wears Skirts. This was the first in a series of at least two films that the premise was that it was an all-female top cop commando squad, essentially. It's directed by Wellson Chin, who was a cousin of Sammo Hung, and it stars Cynthia Rothrock, Sibelle, who is reprising her role from the Lucky Stars films, which was a series of Hong Kong all-star action comedies that Golden Harvest had been doing. This is Golden Harvest film, by the way. And Kara Wai, Bill Tung, cameo by Bill Tung, and Ricky Hui, and Sandra Oh, and a lot of familiar faces, Mars, a lot of familiar faces for people who love Hong Kong movies from this period. So the idea here is that Bill Tung, who is more or less playing his role from the Jackie Chan Police Story series. This film was produced by Jackie Chan, by the way, and all the stunts and action were coordinated by the Jackie Chan stunt team, so it has that feel to it. Bill Tung gets his police dignitaries together and says, we need to have an all-female squad of top cops who can go in and do the missions that the men can't do. And they amass these people, and we get a lot of training. It's kind of, if not inspired by the Police Academy films, it certainly has that going on. It's a lot funnier than I expected from the cover and from just thinking of this as an action movie. There's as much, if not more, comedy than there is action. A lot of this film is really an origin story movie. There's a really great action sequence with Sibelle Hu and Cynthia Rothrock up front that had a rewind and laugh out loud moment, and just how over the top and amazing it was. And then we go into who is Sibelle Hu, that is amassing and training these people, and they're training at an academy that has a lot of male students. So it's the male versus the female romance, and male versus the female, rivalry and chauvinism and all that stuff. And eventually we lead to the big mission that they go on, and big crazy last 10-minute action sequence, which is dependable for any Hong Kong action movie of this year, especially a Jackie Chan movie, where they go to some really cool set and you're like, wow, there's a lot of levels and railings and stairs and tables and things to hit and fall and jump on in this area. This is going to be fun. And it is. So the action is fantastic. It's less of it than I expected, I will say that. And the comedy is really funny and really crude at times, and refreshingly crude. Hong Kong comedy of this period, at least, was very slapstick, in your face, mugging, over the top, crude, inappropriate, whatever, and it was kind of fun to see that. The film it's 96 minutes. It's presented in Cantonese 2.0 dual mono with English subs, or English 2.0 dual mono. And let's go on to what the extras are. And it does have ouch takes at the end, like any good Jackie Chan movie does. So you get to see a lot of like goofs and stunts that go a little bit wrong and stunts that go very wrong. There's one sequence involving fire that's like, it's disturbing, and it's amazing that the people did not come out of that seriously harmed. And it's funny when you watch the movie and you can see they're potentially in danger, but when you see what did go wrong, it's kind of shocking. The transfer is unbelievable, as all of these 88 films releases are. The extras, you have a commentary by Frank Zheng, who was worked for Taiseng Video in the U.S., which was the company that brought a lot of the Hong Kong movies to the U.S. on videotape and Laserdisc. Eventually DVD early on. He's great. He knows all these people. He knows the history of all these people. So you get you get as much about Hong Kong culture of the day and now as you do about the movie you're watching, and you get the history of the actors, and it's very, very, his commentaries are always worth it. You get Shooting Her Shot, Cynthia Rothrock interview that's 17 minutes. She's great. Good sense of humor, a lot of information about what she was doing just before and after this film and her involvement on the film. You get The Director Wears Pants, which is kind of fun. Interview with director Wellson Chin, that's 16 minutes. You get the Top Squad opening and closing credits. That was the UK, I believe, or the English language export title or version of the movie was Top Squad. So the opening title almost looked video generated to me, but the closing titles looked good. And to me, it's probably just a matter of the transfer is so sharp on this, it almost looks unreal. You get the Hong Kong trailer that's 3.5 minutes. You get the English trailer that's 2 minutes. And you get the image gallery, which is a 2-minute still slideshow. But that's not all you get. Let me show you the packaging here. So you get a really nice slipcase here with cool new artwork on the front and on the back. And 88 Films does that, I believe, for all their releases. So the slipcase, what does it do, gang? if I do it right, the slipcase slips to reveal the disc, which is the same cover there and on the back. Then we crack it open and things get interesting. We have a nice little artwork on the disc. We have, oh, what's this? We have a not small mini poster that folds out on nice thick like cardstock that shows you the new artwork on one side and the original Hong Kong art on the other, which showcases all the stars that were in the film. We have a booklet which has the Top Squad logo on it. And that's you can't really tell from here, but that's a decent sized booklet with a lot of photos and text. And the 88 Films booklets are good. It's not just a rehash of the material that you saw in the extras on the disc. And we have a reversible sleeve. I don't know how easy you can see it, but it's got the original Hong Kong art. So you could swap that out if you wanted the experience that I often do, which is the slipcase shows me one art, and then when I pull the disc out, or when I pull the case out, it's different art there. So available from 88 Films. Their releases are phenomenal. I would recommend any 88 Films release of any Hong Kong movie that you see. And I think they have the sequel coming soon, which I look forward to, because for me, this one was fun and cool and the action was good, but it felt a lot like it was getting up to speed. And I feel like with the second one, there's probably a lot more action. At any rate, available now from 88 Films on Blu-ray is The Inspector Wears Skirts.